10 Best Planes in Boeing's History. 1. Boeing 747. The iconic 747 arrived in the late 1960s. Pan Am pushed for bigger airliners. It was a way to reduce congestion at airports. The 747 was 2.5 times the size of the Boeing 707. It was the world's first wide-body aircraft. More than 1,500 747s were built. The final 747 was delivered to Atlas Air in January 2023. 2. Boeing 80. The Model 80 was America's first airliner. It was designed to transport passengers on a scheduled service. The plane had room for 3 crew, 18 passengers, and 900 pounds of cargo. The fuselage was covered in fabric. The only surviving Model 80A1 is on display in Seattle. 3. Boeing 247. The 247 is considered the first modern airliner. It held 3 crew, 10 passengers, and 400 pounds of mail. The 247 had a range of 746 miles. It took 20 hours to fly from New York to Los Angeles, with 7 stops. 247s were repurposed for military use during World War II. 4. Boeing 314 Clipper. In 1939, this plane made a first scheduled transatlantic flight. It held 74 passengers. The flying boat made regular long-distance flights a reality. Its cabin heralded the birth of in-flight service. 5. Boeing 307 Stratoliner. This Stratoliner was based on the B-17 bomber. It was the first commercial transport aircraft with a pressurized cabin. This allowed it to fly above the clouds and bad weather. Howard Hughes bought one, turning it into a flying penthouse. He added a bedroom, 2 bathrooms, and a lounge area. 6. Boeing 707. The narrow-body 707 started the 7 series of Boeing planes. It was the plane that ushered in commercial jet travel. The 707 was the dominant passenger airplane of the 1960s. 7. Boeing 727. Boeing struck gold with the 727. Just 250 were initially planned, but demand was so high that 1,832 were built. Production ceased after 20 years in 1984. The 727 was the most distinctive of Boeing's early jets. It had a T-shaped tail and 3 rear-mounted engines. It was designed to use smaller, less developed runways. This made the 727 amenable to many remote airports. 8. Boeing 737. The 737 is the best-selling jet in aviation history. It's still in service today. The plane offered 6 abreast seating. This allowed more passengers per flight. This was achieved by moving the engines under the wing. Flight engineers were made redundant by the 737's technology. Its 2-crew cockpit became standard. 9. Boeing 777. The 777 remains the world's largest twin jet. It's also the most built wide-body airliner. More than 1,700 Boeing 777s have been built. Airlines like the 777 as a fuel-efficient alternative to similar jets. It's particularly good for long-haul flights. 10. Boeing 787 Dreamliner. The Dreamliner revolutionized jetliner design. Its lightweight fuselage makes it very fuel-efficient. The jet also offers bigger windows and more space for passengers. Despite some issues, the 787 program has received 1,912 orders. 1,118 planes have been delivered. There hasn't been a single hull loss.